Fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're the first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the final night of the CrossFit Games. I'm Scott Schweitzer. I'm the Clydesdale. We've got Amy Radowski all the way over there. We've got Jess Shobot, our fabulous photographer there. And we got Jamie Latimer right here in the middle with the gun show, trying to show off to everybody. Surprised Bruce hasn't come flying in to check out Jamie's biceps.
Oh, you're fighting.
You and Bruce are fighting. Spill.
Just overcuts.
Oh.
Well,
I'm also fighting with Bruce because he did not welcome me to the show yesterday. It was just you two. So
You weren't back.
Okay. All right, we're not fighting anymore, Bruce.
now he says, "Good evening, my loves."
Okay, that's better.
Judy reads in the chat already. Yay, an early show so I can watch. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be an abbreviated version of our show because we are all exhausted and we're actually going to try to hit the road and get partway home tonight. Except for Jess, who lives in Wisconsin. Elise says, no, it can't be over. So anyway, games are over. We have new champions in all three divisions. Let's start with the teams. I did not pick this. I picked Proven to win. Same. They ended up with the silver medal. Invictus took the win. Any thoughts?
I mean, admittedly, we didn't get to watch a ton of teams. I thought the team's programming was like slightly over-programmed at the end, both the last two workouts. But it was cool. They said they were the only affiliate to have been there every year, 15 years straight.
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
Cool. What a way to end at Madison.
Yeah, one little highlight for me is that I talked to Jen Ryan right after they won. She was on their team 2 years ago when she broke her hand at the West Coast Classic, and that actually probably hurt their chances of competing at full capacity. And she was so emotional for especially Brittany and Jorge, who she was on the team with that year, and got to see it come full circle. I actually got to watch a couple team events with CJ Martin and Telena Fortunato. And that was so much fun. Hearing them banter and talk through the team competition was so fun. So at North Park, I saw them a couple times, and then I saw them again tonight. So yeah, that was the teams, and it was really cool. And at the press conference, Dave Castro made a point to say that the feeder system for CrossFit is alive and well. That the teen division does work, regardless of what we see in the news all the time, because Devin Kim came up through the teen ranks, Emma Lawson came up through the teen ranks, Olivia Kerstetter, it just on and on. James Sprague. Yeah. So it was really cool. We'll move on to the women. I picked Laura to win.
You did.
That is all I got right in the podium. Because I had Emma Carey and Annie Thorstadter, but it turned out to be something that even touched my heart more. My friend Ariel Lowen on the podium was pretty freaking awesome, especially with the conversation we had with her about a month ago, telling her that she was good enough and that she should think that she could podium. And I got to talk to her husband right after, which was really, really cool. Any thoughts on the female podium?
I just thought it was super exciting this year because, I mean, of course, we know Tia wasn't there, but the whole weekend, it was just kind of moving around, even though, Emma stayed on top for a while, there was still so much room. And I just thought the game's overall experience was exciting because of the unknowns.
I had Emma, Laura, so I had those flopped, but I believed in Emma. I thought she looked great most of the weekend. Today, she looked just not as strong, maybe just fatigued, like slow and calculated. I don't know if she was like trying to avoid any big mistakes, but she looked slower through that sandbag, muscle up. I don't know. She's just fatigued. Long weekend.
And I will say that if Alexis Raptis ever learns how to handle a sandbag, look out, world.
Yeah.
The 2 sandbag events she did terrible in. Other than that, phenomenal weekend.
Mhm.
That was too bad.
So then we moved to the men. The men was I picked Jeff Adler,
Okay.
Pat Vellner, Roman Krennikov.
Oh, you nailed it.
I hit
Nailed
it all straight across the board. So I'm feeling pretty smart, regardless of my female picks. Feeling pretty stoked about that. Got to ask Jeff in the press conference because he was on the show 5 months ago and he called his shot. He corrected me, but he called his shot
that he was going to podium.
that he was going to podium, and he did. And not only podiumed, but won the championship. And it was cool to see that come full circle. Thoughts about Adler winning?
Oh, I was so excited about it. I thought he had a strong performance. I love that he's also has this sneaky confidence about him, but also knows he still has to work really hard. He's humbled by it, but has a sneaky confidence.
So I just want it noted that he was ahead of Roman going into the second to last workout before Roman's injury, because I feel like all that's going to come of this is everyone's going to say Roman would have won. And
It's already in the chat.
That's bullcrap.
Yeah.
Jeff was ahead. He beat him in the muscle up log, and that was the very last thing. So that wasn't why. Like that happened on the like Jeff had won before Roman even hurt his foot. So I mean, yeah, it would have been great to see the true race through all the way through the finish, but Jeff pulled himself in front in that workout, and
He would have held on.
I think he could have held on. So I think that's awful to say about somebody who just.
I agree. I've called Jeff Adler for about the last 11 months. And let's be honest, when Roman did get hurt, Adler had such a lead. All he had to do was play it safe. And so we didn't really see what Jeff could do on those last 2 events.
That's fair.
And you can't, and injury is part of this sport. You have to make it through this week without getting hurt. And so nothing at all should be taken away from Jeff Adler. He went wire to wire. He won the Open. He won his semifinal.
Yep.
He won the games.
Yep.
So don't come at me. That's my guy. Oh, it was actually ACR. And Kenneth DeLapp says Ricky would have won. Again, don't be stupid in the off season. I really disagree, Elise. Jeff Adler she said that she's not saying Jeff didn't deserve it or anything. I'm just simply saying I think Roman would have ended up in first. Coulda, woulda, shouldas. Jeff Adler is so freaking well-rounded that no matter what test, and that came up in the press conference because it was asked, what about no barbell? And Jeff Adler said, I love a barbell, but apparently I don't need them. Basically, you take away Jeff Adler's coming into this season, his best apparatus, which is the barbell.
Yep.
You take it away in this games until the next to last night, and he still wins. So Jeff deserves every bit of it. To see Caroline Lambre bawling on the sideline, oh my gosh, I crushed me. I love them so much, and they've been a friend of the show since we really started, and to see it come full circle was amazing. But we have to talk about Roman and the effort he put in on those single leg double unders. Props, mad props.
And remember when I was telling you watching the Masters, I saw 2 Masters athletes that were competing in their final doing single leg double unders because of an injury. And
Yeah.
there's Roman.
And they should have gotten just as many props. And that's just sad to see. Bruce, the press conference will be released tomorrow. We'll clip it. I'll actually go back through all the press conferences and clip all the relevant information and get it out. It's something we did last year during the games, and we'll do it again this year. I wanted to get the Castro clip out today because I thought it was important for people to hear where he was in his headspace. And that has gotten shared a ton. And so if you haven't seen that already, great clip from Castro. So super stoked about that. Do we want to talk about any of the other awards?
Well, I mean, Roman Spirit of the Games.
I'm not a fan of that choice.
I have the unpopular opinion, but
If he wouldn't have podiumed, I would have 100%
I
agreed,
still
but
don't.
I think the Spirit of Games should be bigger than what happens on the floor.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, Roman is motivated by, I feel like, more so like the accolades and the money
External
and
rewards.
yeah, and I don't know that he's out there like community friend. Like I don't see that about Roman. Like sure, he showed some, grit at the end, and good on him for keep going. But that's now Spirit of the Games, just grit.
To me, Spirit of the Games was the judge who was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and her dream was to judge at the CrossFit Games and got to judge during the final team event. If you didn't see that, I was sobbing in the arena. They did a big announcement right before the last final team event where she was out there.
Yeah.
Those are the stories. Caroline Lambre going for her level 4. That's a Spirit of the Games, right? Ish. Those are stories that mean more than a guy doing a single leg double under, right? To me, Spirit of the Game should be bigger. When Sam Briggs won, it was because of all the stuff she did outside of the sport and how she mentored younger athletes. That meant something. I think it's losing what it meant. And if it's losing what it meant, we should just get rid of it. No, Elise, coaches and judges can't get the Spirit of the Games. But when you have a story like that announced in the arena, and then you give a Spirit of the Games over a guy doing a single leg double under, which Amy mentioned, 2 Masters athletes did 5 nights before. Bruce, she is qualified. She was diagnosed with cancer in 2012, overcame it, became a judge. She just had never, she's from Australia, so she had never made it to the games. Her dream was to judge at the games. So they somehow got her here to be able to judge the final team event. It was not due to lack of qualifications. Yeah, he embodies. He's always cheering on other athletes. He's jovial. He's laughing. Sorry, Jody. The audio is what it is because we're in a big room. Again, we're going to do full recaps later. Oh, just you. Okay. All right, cool. So, Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year was Olivia Kerstetter.
It was asked in the press conference by our very own Amy Radowski. Last year, they gave away a male and a female. Dave's response was, but the 15 years prior, we only gave away one. And now we're back to doing one.
Last year was the off year.
But didn't technically Bailey Martin finish higher than Olivia Kerstetter?
Did he? Except, what was he? 8th?
He was 11th going into the last event. She was 18th, 17th.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So we don't know the criteria yet for that one.
We sure don't.
Yep, we used to know it. We don't know it anymore.
No, you don't.
Seem extra feisty.
We're very tired from
Yeah,
so
we're
much
we're
fitness
tired
watching.
and we're trying to get on the road, but we wanted to at least do a quick recap. I will say, like, the vibe in the arena today was pretty electric with all the stuff. Everybody cheering for Roman, him talking about his son. That was huge. Vellner, his interview was off the chain with that every year he has to, reevaluate. Is it worth the sacrifice?
Yeah, that was. You can recap it. You were good. Go ahead.
I don't want to do all the talking.
You're fine.
Oh, did you want to talk about Alex's most improved?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the
Oh yeah, we did.
who we thought.
So it was named Alex Gazan was most improved. We debated last night, should it be Colton or Alex? My fear did come to fruition that Colton kind of dipped at the end, where Alex kind of stayed up in the top 5.
Sure.
First of all, Alex getting a top 5 finish in her second year is freaking phenomenal. But and I do want to address the Colton thing as well. That poor kid. Like, he had to give everything he had to get to that spot. And you could tell. You could tell today that he was spent. Every extra thing that he has to do to overcome his height hit the wall today.
Yeah.
That's why they're the best analysts in the business, Pete, folks.
Probably should have been better for him. Whenever there's thruster workouts, he wins. Regardless of the bike being in there, should have been better for him than it was.
And the lunge. He's great at a lunge. Should have been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my biggest surprise from that event was Brent Fikowski. I thought he was going to win that.
Not so much.
No, not at all.
And let's talk about Dallin Pepper winning the final event.
Yeah.
Top 10 performance, second year at the games.
Mm-hmm.
I would put him on the same trajectory as Alex Gazan.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see those two push for the future of the sport. Again, that's why they're the best in the business, folks.
What did they just say?
Do we even know what BKG's injury is? Do we even
No.
know he had an injury?
First of all, I don't want to be negative on this show. We have all week to talk about this stuff.
Okay.
But if you can put 155 pounds overhead and lunge, then you can sure as hell snatch more than 95 pounds.
Curious if he was even injured or if he was they
Like
asked him
calculated.
minimum work requirement purely because he knew where he was points wise, and all he needed to do was stay uninjured. And I don't know, because he could have done something and gotten 20,
Yeah.
26. There were a few lower level lifts. I
Mhm.
think he could have beat even with.
Yeah, I want to know more about that BKG thing, because clean and jerk 95, split jerk 95 pounds,
Yeah. Right.
and then overhead walking lunge 155.
right. That's good. That's good.
All those weights as well.
Yeah, like there was, I don't know, And like I said, he was able to do the ring muscle ups just because if you think it'd be some type of shoulder, maybe if you're gonna
And the
not snatch.
sandbags.
Yeah, so he did all the ring muscle ups just fine. All those sandbags, heaving them over. I don't know.
Yeah, something super fishy there.
And then I'm curious on Justin. Is he a little bit injured? Was he unhealthy? Was he?
Did he not taper off? Like, did he overtrain?
So a little bit inside baseball that I didn't even know I was trying to get, but someone at the press conference that we've gotten to know over the last few nights was actually hired to cover Justin this week and was called on Monday and asked not to.
So something might be going on.
That's all he was told. That was now off and they didn't want someone following him with cameras. And that was Monday. What that means with Justin, I don't know, but it sounds another fishy,
Tail.
but at least I'm hearing it from an outside source and it happened before the bad performance.
Yeah.
So, everybody's saying Justin is hurt. That's what I'm saying, folks. Without saying it.
Maybe he's sick. He had the flu.
He didn't. None of his movement, nothing out there would make me be like, oh, he's favoring that or he's slowing down in that. He might be a little bit hurt there. I can't say that I saw that in anything.
Yeah, there were moments he looked fine, and other moments he looked terrible.
Terrible how?
Lethargic.
Okay, so we would think sick more than an injury.
Maybe, yeah. Could be.
You heard it here first. Unconfirmed. Just mom gut.
Mom gut. Reputable. Yeah, this dude's, I don't think he would lie to me. No, good dude. So I want to take a minute to thank my crew. He's not pregnant. No. I want to thank the crew. Without them, this was actually the most enjoyable week I've ever had at the games because of the content we were putting out. Everybody just knew their job and did it so freaking well. And it allowed me to do things that you're going to see great dividends from in the next few months. And super stoked. I want to thank Amy for always being my mom, making sure that I'm taken care of and asking great questions at the press conference. Jess for always bringing the money shot, as she likes to call it. Jamie and I are sure we need to name that something else probably. But her pictures make me emotional and she should have been doing this 5 years ago.
Agreed that her work is amazing, but that doesn't take much to make you emotional, Scott.
Yeah, especially this week. I'm a big freaking sap. And
it's the rom-com.
And I've been fighting this sinus infection all week. And without them, I wouldn't have made it through.
No, but I just want to reiterate too, just that Jess was, taking care of business and owning the floor down there when she needed to get her shot. And that was amazing.
And Teddy, just happy-go-lucky Teddy. Yeah. Always just bebopping around, getting the shots, getting all the Avicii reels. We have every angle of Colton Mertens on every event. But Teddy's the best. He is the best guy to work with because he's always in a good mood. He's always doing his thing. You can count on him to be where he needs to be and do what he needs to do. And man, I love that dude. And Jamie, thank you for pushing me to different spots, different limits, challenging me, maybe too much. But yeah, we're still debating on what's the fastest route to and from the arena. Route or route, depending on my mood that day. And you just pushed me so much in the right directions. Jake was awesome. Jake is just a great dude. That man is so in love with his wife. So in love with his wife. Watching Jake was like watching a roller coaster ride with every event that went on this week. And just trying to keep him steady Eddie. Honestly, by day 2, if I got good content from him, it was a bonus. He was so engulfed in the success of Alex and the changing expectations as the week went on, because they came in hoping for top 10. Then she was on the podium for a minute. Then it was, well, maybe just top 5. That maybe most improved. And she got most improved and she got top 5. And it was just fun kind of watching it. And his footage of her, like you can tell the love in every shot that he gets of her. So Jamie's not going anywhere, Bruce. So I want to thank you all for that. And I want to finish up with, what was your favorite moment of the weekend?
Seeing Con Porter within 5 minutes of being here at the games.
Could have guessed that one. My favorite moment was just being with all you. The stuff on the floor was great.
See what I mean?
But being with all of you this week, as a team, and being recognized by Dave Castro as a team, being recognized by Dawn Fall as a team, that stuff made my heart full so much. And I just can't wait to see where we go from here.
I would agree, like probably saying like being recognized, getting like hugged by Dave, getting my Sevi hugs every day. Just, yeah, people learning who you are. It's cool. This exposure is more than I could have asked for. So thank you.
Jess.
Honestly, the very first time I got to go out on the floor in the Coliseum was a moment. And being actually on the floor and with my doing my thing, I couldn't have asked for anything more. Like, I've been dreaming about this since 2012, when I started, and here we are. So
Yeah. And I think Teddy's favorite moment was Colton making the cuts.
Yeah.
I think we're safe to say all of
I
that.
didn't have to worry about asking him what he was doing the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. And Jake's favorite moment was probably Alex winning most improved, I would probably guess. Because that was pretty freaking cool. We got so much footage. We've already got the post interview done with Kelly Baker. A lot went down with her today. We're going to talk about that later this week. We're going to talk about the conspiracy theories at the end of the competition, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to leave tonight as a celebration of Jeff, Laura, and Invictus. And the feeling that I have that there seems to be a direction with CrossFit for the first time in a long time. Whether you agree or disagree with what that direction is going to be, there seems to be a direction. And I'm excited to see what that means for the future, what that means for us. But with that, we are actually going to hit the road. And I think Amy and I's goal is to get south of Chicago tonight, so we don't have to deal with rush hour tomorrow. And then head the rest of the way home tomorrow. I don't know what Jamie's. Is she going the whole way?
She has to get her car washed.
I have never seen so much bird poop in my life.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
And we forgot about this on last night's show. Leaving the arena last night, Jamie almost hit a seagull. It thought it was the Porta-John. It thought it was the Porta-John and would not get out of Jamie's way. It was flying low right at the windshield. But I think that's a perfect place to end this. Bruce, thank you so much for the donation. A little $5 donation where he says, love y'all, Jamie, 2024, 40 to 44-year-old Masters champion. With that, you guys, we love you all. Can't wait to get back in the normal swing of things. Roundtable, probably Tuesday-ish, Wednesday-ish. We'll do Thursday night CrossFit Talk again this week. And then we'll get back into some sort of schedule. And I'm going to reach out to all of these people that you just saw this week and try to get interviews about what their experience was like. So with that, we will see you when we're back home.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Sure.